So, Halo. It's kind of an important series, especially for the Xbox and the Microsoft company. It's had a really checkered history, many fans will say. Though I look for the positive in everything, it's been hard to fully appreciate everything we've gotten out of these games. So, I'm doing a tier list of the Halo franchises, and today I'm doing the games overall right now. And then I will break down best campaigns, best multiplayer, all in my opinion, because I don't hold a lot of the same opinions a lot of other Halo fans hold, so I'm gonna stir some controversy. I don't know if I want to go down the line of this tier list. It's just the Halo games. You search Halo games on Tier Maker and this one will come up. It's really simple. It has all the FPS titles and the two RTSs. It doesn't have the top-down Spartan Assault type games. It's just got the ones that people tend to care about the most. So, I don't know, should I do chronological games launch? Also, why isn't ODST on here? Oh well, we'll imagine ODST in there when I get to it. You know, I'm gonna go chronological. I want to start with Halo 2. Halo Combat Evolved is a benchmark in the series for the obvious reasons. It's the first game, it was the killer app for the original Xbox, and it was no holds barred from the get-go. It was an ambitious game, it was a passion project of Bungie. It's not B, I'm not putting it in B. It's aged like... It's aged like chocolate milk. It's visually it doesn't hold up very well anymore, but the gameplay is more like a wine, a putrid wine that does not go down anyone's throat well. It's a great game. It did a lot of things right. It was an amazing story. It was very explorative. The openness of the worlds you navigated was breathtaking, and for the time, it was amazing. I wasn't there at the beginning. It took me till like 2006 to really play this game, and it was a good time. I have a lot of fond memories with a few of my old junior high buddies with it, and we even did a couple sleepovers with it a couple times. It's a great game. It has a groundbreaking story. It was an awesome cliffhanger. Bungie thought it was going to end there, not go anywhere else, but then Microsoft, we got an interesting trilogy out of things, so I'm thankful for where this franchise started, and yeah, it was really cool. Halo 2 is one of the few Halo games that I never know how to feel about it, especially on the multiplayer front. I love its campaign. Its campaign is completely awesome, and it was longer, it was more graphically taxing, even though Bungie was strained to the edges of their sanity to get this game out with tons of changes. Unholy schedule they were working with. This is probably where they started disliking Microsoft and wanting to break away, which is what they did come 2000, late 2010, 2011, whenever it was they were solo going for Destiny. But the end product was undeniably awesome. The multiplayer is... I'm gonna rank its multiplayer separately, but the game itself, it's just epic. I'd say it's probably at the bottom of my S tier rankings. You know what? It's A+. It's A+, barely not S for me. Because its multiplayer was groundbreaking. It did great things for Xbox Live. I can't deny that. It has a lot of fun moments. But this multiplayer, like Halo 1, I didn't even really mention. That's with Halo 1, I don't know why. But Halo 1 and Halo 2's multiplayer are stupidly outdated and broken. Sorry, the truth hurts, but these games, on a technical level with their multiplayer, as fun and epic as they have been, a lot of crazy fun you can have. The BXR, all the... Oh my gosh, Halo 2 handles so weirdly. I never really played this one back in the day. I just did System Link parties with my old hombres. And I wasn't great at it then, I'm not great at it now, and I never will be. It's smooth, it handles really well, but on a technical level, a lot of the facets of its multiplayer are super outdated, and I just cannot love Halo 2's multiplayer to the ends of the earth like I have for a couple other titles. Halo 3 is, honestly, it's a lot of rehashed stuff from Halo 2, but looks better. The dual wielding was still there. The Needler wasn't dual wieldable, but it ended the arc of the original trilogy. A lot of fans think it should have just stayed there. I personally like things progressing and changing, so I was okay with Halo 4 and everything else. But I might actually like this multiplayer. It's not as exact and precise as some later games became, especially with like how the BR functions, but I think the suite of everything out available, Forge, I think this is an S tier game. I think it's bar none one of the best in the series. It's a bit more polished on the multiplayer front, and it brought back a lot of great maps from Halo 2. It's the best of the entire trilogy, I think, other than campaign length. The campaign was more epic in Halo 2, but the multiplayer knocked it down a peg for me, but 3 keeps edges on that, especially with Forge. Halo Wars, goodness, RTSs are an interesting niche for the Halo games. I like the story. I've liked playing Halo Wars on occasion. It makes me feel smart when I pull off the missions and everything. I've completed this game on Heroic. It was tough, but I did it. I even did co-op Heroic or Legendary, I don't remember, with an old friend from high school back in the day. Story's good. Multiplayer content, it's difficult, but it's good. It's there. It's very much there. And then Halo Wars Remastered on Xbox One, it just plays even better and loads even better too. So yeah, I'd say Halo Wars is a solid B average, maybe B minus type game. And Halo 3 ODST for having Firefight and its campaign. Ooh, I'm gonna imagine that as either a B plus or an A minus game, because I love the music. The music is so much fun. It just adds more to the stories of Halo 2 and 3. That's probably a B plus. It's fun. It's jazzy. It added our woomy little homeboy Virgil. Was Virgil prone to drift, or was he quick to adjust? Maybe I'm probably messing up the Hergok names in the expanded canon, but anyways, good game. Really loved ODST. I love it more than most people, I'd say, but it was a really good time. I'll leave it at that. No question about it. Reach is my all-time favorite Halo game, bar none. Fight me in the comments. I played the most of this multiplayer across the series. Nothing else has come close. I've played a good deal of Halo 4, I've played my fair share of Halo 5, 3. I haven't played as much Halo 2 online as the others, but Reach, it had. People don't like Bloom, but it just makes you more efficient, teaching how to pace your shots. Taking out the BR was controversial, but the DMR was a great compromise. The story has its flaws, as every story ever written does, but really it doesn't conflict very much with the lore, the canon of the book. There's a video you guys need to watch. It's the Battle of Reach Complete Timeline by Halo Canon. He uses Reach local time, which is like a 31-hour clock, synchronized with UNSC Standard Time, which is Earth-based, and he adds plot points of the book and the game in together in a way that, to me, seems like everything works out just fine. So, honestly, I don't even hold the decanonized Fall of Reach as a actual complaint or concern. So, I love Reach's story. I kind of wasn't counting on everyone to survive, but but death still hit me. Goodness, you should have seen my sister play this for the first time. Poor girl cried when Emil got stabbed. It was sad. It was rough. And then Carter's was a shock. She didn't like cats either. And then George was like, no! And then she kept going, and then the next 3 Noble team deaths really hit her, and then living out Noble 6's final moments was a narrative shift that Bungie, I don't think, ever did in a game up to that point. The Reach just did so much right. It was technically impressive. I liked its aesthetic. It was gritty. It still had color and everything. It was just great, and the customization was bar none the best in the entire series. Chef kiss good. In the voice of the immortal Jules Gill. Chef kiss good, baby. I absolutely love this game, no question about it. Halo 4. Halo 4 has just gotten increased love from me. You know what? I'm going to do something. There are no D games. There are C minuses at best. So, we're going into that. Halo 4 has gotten increased love from me. It's a really, really powerful shift in... I don't know who's above the other, but they're both A and A plus games for me. You know what? Halo 4's multiplayer, even though it functions really, really smooth, I like faster paced multiplayer. I like sprint and multiplayer. I'm okay with classic gameplay, but I don't clamor and demand for it all day, every day. So I'm good with Halo 4 multiplayer. I actually played really good. My first perfection in the entire series came out of this game, Big Team Slayer. So honestly, clearly I was doing something right. And 343 got a lot of flack for this game when it came out, but people are coming around to its story. The Didact was built up, not a whole lot in the marketing, honestly, but Didact was a pretty decent villain. He went out like a sucker, and then he actually went out in the comics, which is, God, just the narrative of the overall story is the problem with 343's games, not the in-game execution itself, because Halo 4's story was actually really good, and the looming threat of losing Cortana the entire time made the game really tense. But losing Cortana was emotional. It affected me, and it did that for a lot of people too, and the music was pretty dang cool. Neil Davidge has nothing to apologize for. He left his mark on the series in pretty much completely positive ways. Some tracks are forgettable, but there's nothing that's bad. There's a lot of good to be had in Halo 4. It's very much a good game, and you will never convince me otherwise, whether it's like Call of Duty or not. And then Halo Wars 2, again, good story. I loved Spirit of Fire in Halo Wars 1, so I was happy to see them make it to the Ark, get caught up on the events of the war, and again, pretty much a cliffhanger, and now the Banished are in Halo Infinite. I don't know which story I like better. I really don't know. I don't think about these two games very often, so the Blitz mode was interesting, but it never really sat with me. Though Lasky liked it. Lasky and his wife really enjoyed Halo Wars 2. I don't know. I don't know. Would I rather play C+, B-? It's hard to rank Halo Wars against the shooters. I would honestly rather play Halo 5 than Halo Wars 1 and 2 at this point, but in a lot of ways I think they are better. Zones B and C are very, 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 very strange. Overall, I would rather play Halo 5 than the RTSs. But in story facets especially, they are definitely both B plus tier, while Halo 5 is probably C minus. It barely holds on from getting a D in my mind. But Halo 5 has the most amazing weapons sandbox in the series, incredibly diverse. The movesets, you know, people don't like overly complicated movement, but they all serve the game really well. The maps aren't all super memorable, but Firefight is at its peak in this game, at least with how many players you can have and the scale of it. I still hold that Reach is the best firefight in the series, but I have had a lot of co-op fun with 7 other Spartans in Warzone Firefight. And the Warzone modes are pretty awesome. PvP and PvE elements mixed together. I think they did that before Bungie did Gambit and hybridized the two. So, props to 343 for the innovations they put into Halo 5. The armors, that's the thing, the armors in Halo 4 and 5 are super weird. They've done some retreads of old armors that are pretty decent, but for the most part, most of 343's armor is pretty unmemorable. Hopefully Halo Infinite changes that. And as for Halo Infinite, I really, really hope overall this game is about here. I hope it's about on par with Halo 3. But honestly, people are probably just going to be putting it in a B or C category. So I hope it makes it here. But time will tell. And that's my overall ranking of the Halo games. And yeah, stir up your own emotions and tell me what you think in the comments below. I will make a campaign only version of this video, and I will make a multiplayer mode only function of this video, and I'll try to keep, you know, Firefight's a multiplayer experience, so Firefight's gonna count. So we will get to that when we get to that. I am your boy Chris Breezy. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.